Hey, what's up, everybody? Shane Presley here with the Rock Paper Podcast to tell you about my friend's music record shop. Find them down in the Grove at 4191A Manchester Avenue, located right between the Demo and the Ready Room. This Friday, an all-new music happy hour with new records from Rush, Kurt Cobain, Montage of Heck, Earl Sweatshirt, Ryan Adams, 1989, Humphreys McGee, Sam Smith, Anthrax, Mac Miller, and all sorts of other stuff. So come out, get you some new records. Live in-store performance this Saturday, December 12th with Mitchell Ferguson and Nicole Grace. That's sponsored by Four Hands Brewery and the Gramophone. 2 to 4. Find them online, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, musicrecordshop.com.
This is Sean.
This is Josh. It's Danny from Brotherly and the 11 Jackals.
And this is Dan Johanny from the Wilderness.
And this is Bobby, also from the Wilderness.
Listen to Rock Paper Podcast, dude.
Christmas.
Yeah, this is Rock Paper Podcast with Shane and his guests. You will listen to what he says. Shane will drive to your house and bring you brownies and talk for hours, 'cause it's Rock Paper Podcast. Tell me why it's nothing but a podcast. Tell me why we're making this for your ass. Tell me why all you gotta do is download Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast.
It's 11 a.m. and we're getting wasted again.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, episode 146. Coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri.
Shaw Boulevard.
Yeah, hanging out in Danny and Josh's new place. So,
Rat hole.
yeah.
Rat nest.
Joined by the guys of Brotherly and the Leather Jackals and the Wilderness. And these guys all have a big show coming up Friday, December 11th. Blueberry Hill in the Duck Room. Great spot. Mm-hmm. With our friends, the Maness brothers, and River Kittens also. Mm-hmm. And Blackfoot Gypsies.
And the Wilderness.
Yeah.
Huge, big lineup, yeah.
Yeah.
Big lineup.
I'm very excited for this show. I'm excited to see you guys playing live again. It's you guys played that party at, as a duo, the in-store music record shop.
It was fun.
Yeah,
for Grove Fest.
Yeah.
That was fun. Because Sean, we normally have bass, drums, guitar, and we do that a lot. We've done that for the last year straight, and then Sean had a wedding.
Yeah.
So we actually had two shows. We played the night before. Sean got married, everybody.
Finally tied that knot, huh? Finally.
Yeah, we did two shows though as a two-piece, which are like fun but kind of just weird. But they're really fun.
Sure.
But that's how the band.
We missed Sean.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it was a Brotherly show. So.
That was a good party though, man. I had a lot of fun watching you guys, and Delta Soul Revival also was joined us.
Yeah,
and,
those dudes were rad.
Yeah, they you should see the full band of them too. Like they played as a duo as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they're great, man, and big things are happening for Tyler as well, and so yeah. Anyway, it's been a little bit since I've seen you guys play, so I'm excited to get out and catch another show, and this will be a good one. So
Yeah.
so we got the new EP. This is what we're partying for. The new Boredom Leads to the Bottle EP.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's
pretty accurate.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, it's the whole
It's a condition.
thing works out. The I don't know. It's kind of comes full circle because the song is written about Blueberry Hill, which I mean, Josh, you can give a real explanation because Josh wrote it as a employee there. But
Sean
so
and I
the
both-
location is
both
perfect.
work there.
Yeah.
And so on the slow days, when you're there and you haven't had a table for 3 hours and you just see that beautiful, beautiful bar with all those things that'll help the time
the
go
best
by.
people
So,
with
yeah.
bartending
So you get
too.
double
All
what you normally
friends,
pay.
you know.
Everything is just
Yeah,
too
they'll,
strong.
they always like give us the look like, hey man, you're just as slow as we are at the bar. Do you want, like,
Yeah.
you want to shoot one with me real quick, man?
We started
It's
started
just-
coming up with the phrase of, "Hey, do you want to be somebody?
You want to be
All right,
somebody,
let's
man?
go be somebody."
And then Josh wrote in the lyrics of the song, but
It
It's
was
all
like an
reflects,
inside
like,
joke, so
our
I
whole-
decided to change it.
our
Yeah,
whole thing with at Blueberry Hill, it's like,
yeah. We definitely like drinking, and
Yeah.
definitely like drinking when we're bored, or when you have so many things to do. You just have to drink, and
Right.
yeah.
Well, and like
Yeah.
the way that I kind of look at it too, the way it translates for just what's going on in all of our lives, like as just local musicians working where we work, mostly industry people, night jobs, and being in a band, you're always out at a club, you're being social, and there's always booze, it's always around, and it's just like so many of those nights that are just. It's just blurry nights, and they're some of them are because you're bored, and most of them are a good reason, like for holidays, or maybe it's just a random like there's like cheap drinks on Tuesday night, wherever. But
Or maybe,
we got this
or
whole
maybe the
lineup,
Wilderness and the Maness brothers are playing at the livery.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
Murder City specials.
Right.
You get a beer shot and a cigarette for $5.
That is
Yeah.
Get on.
Yeah.
You go there with $20 and you leaving a happy camper.
yeah.
Well, and in the last year, we got to just be tight with all these bands. Like when we played the Whiskey War Fest, which is the Maness Brothers festival they do every year. We in the last year, our band, Brotherly, has met. I mean, literally everybody involved in this show, and then some. I mean, there are at least 4 other bands that we were wanting to put on the bill. It's just not realistic. We can't have a 10-band.
Yeah,
really
you
show.
can't just have like a festival.
Yeah, it's just not
on
gonna
a
work.
Friday night.
That would have been,
Blueberry.
would have been fitting.
Yeah, maybe.
An
You know
all-day
what?
party.
Yeah, but since then we were just like I remember me personally having such a good time with that group of people. Just everybody that makes up the Wilderness, the River Kittens, the Maness brothers, and the Maness family is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So extremely supportive.
Yeah,
Like,
so it's just
like
like
not
feels like a
only
big family, you know.
not only supportive of their kids, but supportive of all of us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
they're out at shows all the time.
They're definitely the kind of people that just bring it under the
Mark
wing.
Maness was starting the little like pit over at the Maness set. Like he pushed me like twice. He bumped out and was like, "What's going on, man?"
He's like,
Damn, Mark.
Mr. Maness, take it easy.
I'm talking to Tammy, and she's like, "He's the worst stuff. He's the worst."
Tammy Maness.
Yeah. But like it's just, especially I didn't know. I mean, I didn't personally. We as a band we kind of discussed who we would want to, if we could, what's the best case scenario. This is all just idealistically. This is before we booked it, before we recorded. It kind of just all happened within like 5 months, 4 months, like since the summer to now. And the spot, the bands, it's just like I couldn't be more.
This is
Even-
exactly
could
what
not
we
be
more
wanted
so.
for so
Yeah.
long, and
Could not be
everybody
more
agreed
so.
to it. Everybody that like we'd love to go out and see personally. It seems like less of a show about us, but more like a collective effort. Like, hey, these are all the bands that inspired us to like really like hammer it out too, and we love to
Yeah,
see live.
most
But, like,
definitely.
I couldn't imagine a better bill. It's like everybody that we asked to play was agreed, and we just lucked out really hard with it. But,
Well, there's so much going on this month. What isn't happening in December? There's nothing
Yeah.
but like, and you got the Pokey show for New Year's, and then there's a
Which
dozen
also
other
the River
shows.
Kittens.
Yeah,
are
yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had no idea they were on that bill, and it's just like,
Yeah.
the I don't know, everybody's buzzing in their own way, and then we kind of just put it all together. I think that it's just going to be just wild, man. The
Yeah.
Duck Room is just going to blow up. I think. It's
Yeah.
gonna,
Yeah,
like,
we even
it's
got
gonna be
to
the last show at the Duck Room because we're gonna melt them.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
we're gonna
place is
melt
gonna
some
burn.
faces, yeah.
The place is gonna burn.
So
Yeah.
get out if you want to see Liberty Hill.
yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
venue, dude.
It's so good.
Yeah, I
love that.
I didn't know. I've only lived in St. Louis for like 2 years, and I played 2 shows there, been to maybe 2 shows there, but the sound down there is just so good.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
I
for
was
sure.
I was just there a bit ago for a comedy show. They got the Mountain City comedy duck
Right.
comedy in the Duck Room.
Kenny
now.
Kynes,
Yeah, Kenny was.
funniest man in America.
Yeah, Kenny's great. He'll be on the show next week. So,
Awesome.
Love that dude.
Awesome.
but yeah, like hopefully you guys don't tear it up too bad because I promoted. I promoted a show with my friend Joe Murray, who's headlining there on the 12th. So
Okay.
so hopefully there's a little bit of stage left. for
Yeah,
him
we'll
to-
leave some scraps.
Yeah,
we'll leave some
Okay,
scraps.
okay.
We'll leave some scraps.
Okay. We can do that. We can do that. Yeah.
But no, so what? Like looking, comparing the two EPs out now. How do you feel like you guys have evolved on this, playing as this lineup? This is Sean's first time recording with you guys. right?
Yes.
So,
Yes,
correct.
it is.
so what's what kind of different vibe do you feel on this one compared to the last EP?
You go first, man.
So this was just one of my favorite experiences, being in the studio in general, and I just got my 10-year this year as being a musician as well. So, and like I was telling Dan and Bobby earlier, I even worked as a studio musician for a while, and this was my absolute favorite time of just being in the studio. It was the most relaxed, like rowdy, and I definitely think it shines through on the record too. That we felt at home with it, and and getting to do it in South City, being about just the way that we live our lives and everything too. Like I definitely feel like I became a much better guitar player since the first record too. Sean's never played bass before, so he was. He hit his stride too.
Yeah.
And, Danny just sucks all the time.
Yeah, Danny's the worst.
So I think everything but Danny's parts are great. Josh.
Didn't you
go back and... Oh, you see. Didn't you go back and
Yeah.
his
We did
Don't tell him that I redid the
Sure,
drum
yeah,
tracks.
yeah. I did hear about that. I got an email from Zagk. Yeah, doing it with Zagk Gibbons
Zagk.
at his house. I mean, we're talking like the layout. You can't see this if you're listening to this, but it's a similar layout where it's just a house on the south side. It's off Cherokee, right by details don't matter. It's right off Cherokee, and
His address is
here's the PO box.
yeah.
But you know,
He
what, man,
also
it was
loves
just
swimming, and
it was just his house, and the way that he has it set up, it just feels like you're just doing this. And we got there super early, 10 a.m., which is so early for me personally. That's like so early.
I showed up hungover.
And we just did a day-long thing. I mean, it's basically just one big day of tracking bass, drums, guitar in one room. And that's something for me personally I've never done. As a drummer, in the past, we've done things that click tracks. The South City Blues EP with Carter from Suburban Pro, who has since moved to the South Side, but he was in Florissant for a while. But Bobby played guitar on that from the Wilderness, Bobby Stevens. We had Dylan Dowdy from Search Parties. He used to play with us. We had a saxophone friend who laid down a sax part. And then we had electric guitar, which is by Josh. Bass by Jared Dickinson, who's our original bass player. And then I did drums. So we had this big 6-person production with a click track with like so many auxiliary percussions and backup vocals and just like it was just like, you know, you're excited to like, let's do this big thing, spend all this money and do it. And then this time around we did 3 people for $300 in one day, 2 days.
Yeah.
Add guitar, little things later, and it was just like totally just sounds like what we sound like live.
Yeah.
Super laid back.
Kind of just figured that out. We got to put out a record that sounds like what you're gonna get.
This was a much better translation of how we sound live than what the first record was.
Yeah.
Right, I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, like when I listen to Elvis Has Left the Building, it sounds almost like a lounge version, like jazz lounge, lounge version. Of it.
Everything was kind of like, I think we've always been a louder kind of like, as far as volume goes, a louder band. That's just how I grew up playing drums. I don't know how to play them any other way.
I don't know how to play
beat
guitar
the shit out of it. That's just how I play. And or you know, it's kind of that was kind of the spirit of it originally. Since it was just a 2-piece from the start, Josh and I practiced in my apartment in Collinsville, in this like slum shit apartment we had. We just had parties.
You guys are rich now, so
yeah, we're rich.
Yeah, we're rich now. So
in our new penthouse.
in our new penthouse. TV in the kitchen. But it's just super different. This entire everything about this record is different because we played these songs. Basically, how it went was we went through another big member change, like we always tend to do. We have we just do that. People come and go for whatever reason, but that happened again, and so we wrote a bunch of new songs. And then instead of recording them right away, which we were going to do, we played them out for. I guess at least like 8, I think probably about a year, because I just got a notification it was a year ago that we played Belleville, and we're going to play Belleville again on the 19th. So it's been about a year or something. So we've been playing this whole EP, these new songs, for a year, and to go into the studio ready to like record that, you know, like it's just as a band we were really ready to record these, and we didn't do that last time. We kind of just they happened and grew in the studio, and then we played them. Like we played them from the record, but now we kind of just recorded the way we play them live, and now it's no different. So
yeah,
the adjustment is nice, you know. That's
kind of how brought up comedy earlier, but that's how a comedian will work, trying to get that hour, that 45 minutes or whatever, and get ready to record a special. You know, we'll tour on that for a while, and then usually like one of the last spots on the tour, they'll record the special and put it out on DVD, and a lot of them that's kind of got. They'll sprinkle some stuff in, but they try to scrap that and start over with a new material and get back to writing a new hour, and so I think that's kind of a cool way to, like I said, how you guys described it, and how not that you're going to scrap these songs, but the same sense that you guys, made sure you got it down real tight, and then went in and recorded it. And
that really helped, that we waited to record anything. Yeah. We just kept playing it out, testing some waters, and can only practice so many times in a practice space, and be like, well, to our standards, it's working right now, but then when you play it out live and really see people's reactions or see how you can have fun with it too, and then it just evolves into something entirely different. So had we recorded in March versus August,
it would have been
entirely different. Yeah,
it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be early because I do the booking, and I booked like X, Y, and Z, and I booked a studio time and then a bunch of show dates, and it was supposed to and it ended up just being like we were supposed to go the next day, and Josh was just like the three of us, or just him and I were talking, and he was just like, dude, I think we need to cancel tomorrow, like just cancel it. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's like, dude, we need way more time than this. These songs are new. These things are. I'm just overly ambitious about the band in general. I mean, it's just all I think about and do every day. I mean, if we're not practicing or playing, I'm doing something. Booking this with you, talking to somebody about artwork, getting CDs figured out. It's just like what I love to do. So I'm always about like, let's do another one. Let's do another EP. Like we're gonna try to go back soon and record. We have a few new songs we're gonna do. So I'm always trying to think forward.
Sure.
But we waited, and it was just way for the better. I mean, the three of us are just so stoked on the way this turned out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to the three of us were sitting in the car like a couple hours ago, like we just got them. I'm just like holding it. I'm like, yes. I'm like, I'm gonna go put it in the car because this is probably something's gonna be wrong. The track list is gonna be messed up or something. But like, it was exactly the way it's supposed to be, and it's here. And so now I'm just like,
Yeah, dude. It's
and
great
it
to
sounds,
listen to in the car.
So I just.
Car jams.
Yeah, and I'm just ready to throw it all over town, man. Hopefully people we're going to put it up and put it out, but not for a minute. If you want to listen to it, just come to a show and I'll give you one for free. You just got to come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's like kind of the spirit of it. And we got some friends that have been around and listened to these songs for years. We have a song on there that was the first song we ever wrote as a 2-piece 3 years ago. It's called Outlaw. And we re-recorded it. We demoed it like 3 years ago and then put that on there. So it's kind of fun to do that, you know,
Sure.
like... This isn't our first big record, but it's kind of like the first real EP. That's the way I look at it.
Right. It's our first tangible, you know, like we got the last one very half-assed, you know, but it was totally just to get people hip to it. You know, it's like it was just a burner. But yeah, like I mean, I tripped out today reading the back of it, and you know, like been in bands before to where, you know, when you release a record, it's great. It's a wonderful experience. But this is the first time in my life that I've ever been part of releasing a record of songs that I've written, you know, lyrics that I've written, and everything too. And like, I don't know, I'm just very proud of all three of us for the way that it's all come together and come to fruition.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. I got my copy here. I'm excited to put it in and crank it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, listening to it loud.
Play it
is
loud,
definitely where it's at.
Yeah.
Play it loud.
Play it loud, dude.
Play it loud.
Play it loud.
Don't be so.
No, you guys definitely solidified. Like the three of you are, I think, just incredible together.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
And I think coming in, like you were saying, to this EP, it just
Thanks, Bobby. Cool.
It just happened.
it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think it being like you had time to come together a little more. Like
Sure,
the first
yeah.
one I could see was like kind of fresh still, you know. It's like
Yeah.
Totally.
You know,
Yeah,
I never sang or played guitar
Right.
for a band,
Right.
you know, and so that was
Never played
my
bass
first,
for a band. Too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Sure.
just
Yeah.
all
It's
just
all
like
new.
first stabs
All
at
new,
it.
yeah.
First stabs.
We,
Thanks, dude.
I think,
hardworking fellas,
awesome.
man.
yeah, just try to like have that like fake it till you make it attitude. But yeah, I mean, so much of this shit is just fresh waters, man. Like, I mean, we've only played out of state a handful of times. We're just a local band who finally has like a CD that sounds like what we sound like. So I'm just excited about that, like foundation we can go from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From there.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we're just poor broke musicians, and so
Right.
this is a huge deal to us. You
Such
know,
a-
it's such a
it's
good
like
deal.
way more important to me than like Christmas or like dude, I don't care. New Year's like
I don't care, I'm
fuck,
rich
I
now.
mean, yeah. It's literally all I'm thinking
Happy
about.
birthday, rock and roll.
Rock and roll birthday on Friday. I'm bringing a cake.
Dan had a really good idea about Friday and bringing an ambulance just to park out
Yeah.
front. You know, like I'm trying to get penny laned. You know, get my stomach.
We're gonna
pumped.
need it.
You know, like it's gonna be a good.
I
time.
better need an IV.
Yeah,
Something.
yeah,
it's gonna get a little wild.
and that's gonna be
Yeah.
before the Maness Brothers set.
Right.
You're gonna
So
need
if
an IV by
you
then.
don't,
Right.
if you don't care about the music, you can at least come for that.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, the lineup is so great. I'm so excited. Like it's like I said earlier, it's not even really about like CD release for me. It's more like, oh, I get to see these great bands
Yeah,
play.
exactly.
I'm like, oh yeah, we have to play, but
Exactly.
I'm like, oh shit, you know, like every band is just so great. The River Kittens, Wilderness, you know, that we've played with countless times.
Right.
You know, boys, yeah, and then Maness Bros, Blackfoot from Nashville. You know, these
And
are all the
to
bands I
have it-
go out and see.
And to have it at Blueberry, I mean, we even got to like pick out the sound guy and on the bartenders, and so like, you know, it's gonna be my favorite show of my life.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Home field advantage.
Home
you know,
field
like
advantage
knowing
is, like,
everybody.
closest
Like we can do
that
some
you can
special
get, yeah.
things that other people can't necessarily do. You know, at a Blueberry Hill Duck Room show. You know, all these touring bands and such. But it's our
Well, and
it's
it's
our home
and it's
field,
nice to
you know?
it's nice to be able to go to your work too and do this kind of thing because you're like, hey, I need all these days off for shows. Sean and I both do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice to have like a little payoff
Sure.
to, you know, show like,
That-
hey
yeah,
man, like
that's
this
a good
is
point.
what we've been doing.
Yeah.
You know, and
This is
everything
why we
too.
need
You're
this.
It's like a mom and dad
you
come
know,
out and you're like, see, I'm not just,
Yeah.
like, you kind of like it. Like, you kind of like it.
Right.
Like,
I know.
Pretty
good, right?
Yeah. Minnie and Craig and Leah are
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the show.
yeah.
My family.
Grandma
Weird
Frances,
group.
Aunt Beck.
Yeah,
Grandma
dude.
Franny's coming too. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's like an interesting part of it too. Is trying to, I don't know. I still don't know how it's all going to work out, but we got to get. We try to cater like a show where we can. It's another reason why we wanted to go to Blueberries. You can come out and have dinner. You can enjoy the loop. Like I'm from Illinois. Sean's from Illinois. So we definitely have like friends and family that still live over there that want to come out and then come out and enjoy the loop. Like I work in the loop. I work at Starbucks, right there in the corner. So I'm right there all the time.
Shout out to Starbucks.
Start out, yeah, just, you know,
Please sponsor.
corporate coffee is the way to go. But, to come enjoy the loop, and like, there's just, I mean, we're just, I don't know. I spend so much time down there. It just didn't seem right to do it anywhere else.
Yeah.
My grandma said that that's where all the freaks go to congregate.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, my mom told me when she was living around here when she was a kid, and she's like, your grandpa used to take us to Del Mar to go look at the hippies.
Oh my god.
Look at all the weirdos. Yeah, right.
Go look at it. There's some hippies over there. Yeah, I get the same. Man, anytime I tell my dad I'm going, you know, to Beale or something, you know, I'm like, he's like, oh, you gotta be careful down there, Shane. You know, there's always people, you know, and I'm like, I've been doing this for a long time.
Sure.
And,
These are my people.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not completely naive. I know things happen.
Sure.
Sure.
But you know, it's just like the news will lead you to believe that just there's people like just as soon as you, hey, welcome to St. Louis, you know, you get shot and like or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
But I mean, I don't know. I've never had any single problem. You know, I've never. You know,
I've had my car broken into. Stories. Sean's been robbed behind Manja,
That was fun.
trying to be a good Samaritan.
That was fun.
I know. It was such a weird night. It was Whitney's birthday, Josh's gal, and all like it was like 20 of all my best pals like 30 feet away. I was just right around the corner, and then.
Oh, we all ran after the fact. After we all.
Oh yeah,
we all
everybody! I
ran
just
out
walked back. I was
behind
like,
us.
"Well,
Yeah.
fuck! I just got robbed. Happy birthday, Whitney! My day's ruined. Fuck me, right? I gotta go cancel my debit card.
Right.
I'll see you guys at home later. Yeah, but yeah, they all ran. But
You tracked your iPhone and it was on like the MLK bridge. or
dude,
something
yeah,
like
they
that,
tossed
yeah.
it. They're like, "Oh, passcode too complicated." Yeah, but either way, yeah, St. Louis has a bad rap, but man, the culture here, you know, it's really
Things like this.
It's really unbelievable.
This kind of shit
you
is
know,
happening. You should come. You should come out.
Music
and enjoy.
scene.
A
The
lot
art
of
scene,
people
it's so
forget that we
tight
are
around
a
here.
big music city. I mean, like you always
So
think of
big.
Memphis, you always think of Nashville, you always think of LA, and now Austin. But you know, St. Louis, man, like that's why our hockey team is called the St. Louis Blues.
Yeah.
You get it right. It's a
We're-
blue. You get it right.
Yeah, like I mean, and we're opening the Blues Museum and everything.
Sure.
We fucking produced Chuck Berry and
Yeah.
fucking Miles Davis, and you know, like
Yeah.
Did I tell
fucking
you?
right, you know.
I don't think I told you guys that the last time we hung out, but I live out in Wentzville, and I share the house I grew up in. I share a property line with Chuck Berry.
I know
Awesome.
Chuck's out in Wentzville too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it was. My mom brought it up today. Told a story to me, and she said my cousin got in trouble one time in school because she told her teacher that her cousin was related to Elvis Presley and lived next to Chuck Berry, and like the teacher didn't believe her that she was making up stories and stuff. But no, I never met the man, but it's it's pretty crazy to
You ever hear him just like ripping licks over there?
Just echoing through the property lines.
Their stories though, man. Like I mean, everybody's got a story, but talking to some older guys that I worked with and stuff that have been around Wentzville forever, and they said they would go there to Chuck's house when they were in high school and stuff, and there would be parties at Chuck's house, and everybody would be like. They said it was like the neighborhood kids would like be in the front or something, and like the celebrities would be in the back, kind of deal.
Cool.
And but my friend Charlie's telling me a story about like they snuck back there and something about Keith Richards like passed out in the yard or something like which,
that's a lie. Keith Richards has never passed
out.
You can't take down Keith.
No way.
Can't take down Keith. What is his deal?
But I mean,
I believe it.
Yeah.
I just it would be wild to think about those. What was going on? That was late 60s or 70s.
Oh yeah.
So
St. Louis, man.
I
He's got a lot of grit.
Yeah.
I got the opportunity to open up for him last year in my old band, and it was like the first time ever in my life my family's been like, all right, Josh is a musician, there you go, like awesome. But I mean, like when you really think about it, that guy's the godfather of everything of what we do.
Yep.
Yes, sir. And he did it right. So I mean, it was just an absolute like honor to even be on that same stage.
Yeah, definitely.
And everything, But
great. That was talking about the hockey team thing earlier. I had that same exact conversation with my friend Will. He texted me one day. He goes, "Hey, is there any good blues places around here? I want to listen to some blues." I'm like, "Yeah, it's like what I do every weekend."
Every weekend. It's like,
man.
I said, he goes, I didn't even know St. Louis was they had the blues or whatever. And I was like, we have a hockey team named after it. Like that's how much the blues mean to St. Louis. Like it's
a big deal.
Yeah.
But there's no like I think some of those there's no glitter in St. Louis. It's there's reasons. Yeah,
gritty.
Yeah, it's gritty.
It used to be well until the 50s, and then urban sprawl was like everybody left the city, but.
True.
Still plenty of great music.
But man, it's a lot of
to touch on I think kind of what you were segueing in when you talking about safety and kind of worried about where you're at, what time of day, where you're going, what part of town. But that's just like part of the spirit of like these kind of bands. We all play those divey bars, and we play I don't know. Given the fact that we had the option to pick where we wanted to do, which is a luxury we haven't really gotten before. The fact that we get to pick the bands and that people want to play at our show, that people want to instead of some of these things were us reaching out to people, and then half of it was them reaching out to us. The music record shop in the Grove fronted everything for our EP, so like what you have is because
they made it happen.
$600.
They believe in local music, and
and they
that's
support
really
the shit out of it. They want us to be a part of it because they're a part of the local music scene, and we are as well. So
proud sponsor of the Rock Paper Podcast.
Right? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
Dan and Mark.
All right. That was great about Grow Fest that day, because that was really what got us plugged in there with Dan and everything.
So we had so much fun with Dan. It was dude,
so much fun.
I hugged him 4 times. When I met him, it's like a small professional handshake. We play our set, hug. We're all getting a little drunk. A couple hours later, I see him, big old hug. See him at 1 a.m. Just after it all, a bear hug. It was just. Good dude.
Just great dudes.
Just great dudes.
It's the 4th time I've seen you tonight.
Come here, man.
Get in here.
But that's just what it is. We're all just so happy to see each other, and then we all have these. It's so great because over the course of the band itself, which is about 3 into 4 years, we've got people like Bobby Stevens from the Wilderness who's played with us. So now, anytime that the Jackals play with the Wilderness, it's like even, I mean, it's icing on top of the cherry. It's like, well, I mean, it's just old, like reconnect. Just, I don't know, it's better. It's better than just like something else. I mean, it's just when you get these relationships with these people and you get to be friends and you're all in the same boat and you're all rooting for the same thing.
You know, we've all made out, so you know,
right. On top of everything else,
that was
brothers and stuff.
Right. That happened earlier.
But it's just good, man. It's just good. Feels good.
It's it's a little different, but it's a similar kind of thing going on too. It makes me happy to be a part of this St. Louis music scene as a whole. But like I mentioned off mic, some of my buddies that play in more modern rock get played on the point and stuff, and they always over pops and things. But they there was a cool thing going on there too. Like where just last night I was over there and they were all hanging out, and it was like 6 bands, and we're all buddies, and we're all there to support all each other's bands and all this stuff. And it's like but there's so many. There was in that scene there's a lot of like battles kind of vibe. There's always a competition thing, and it was fun to just kind of let it all out and like, hey, we're just having fun tonight, and this is a party,
totally.
and
Totally.
And it's so it's great to see that like there's definitely a lot of community vibe building right now. Like there's a lot of people.
Most
everybody's
and also like Sid, like being a 10 year in now, like in St. Louis, it used to be just terrible.
It's a competition.
Like, absolutely
Nobody liked anybody.
everybody was talking shit on everybody,
Yeah.
and it was just it was so bad, man.
But these days, it's
Like,
like
these
any
days-
band that we play with, any musician that we meet, where it's
great.
it's a really small community of like, artists and musicians around the city. But once you know one person, you'll meet everybody else from there. That's how I've got to know everybody. I didn't know anybody when I moved to St. Louis.
I think also too there wasn't a lot of rock and roll going on at that time, and now rock and roll has kind of all brought us back to. Oh hey, we're in it for the same thing. Yeah. Kind of just brought us back down.
Absolutely.
St. Louis, there's like a big metal scene and a big punk scene. It's crazy,
yeah.
Like a huge punk scene, and then like I find it's really rare. Like that's why I enjoy I don't know what we're doing now, because I just don't hear a lot of bands out that are like just kind of old school rock and roll or like, and then
all the bands that you have heard are going to
Springsteen,
be playing on December 11th.
Like, I don't hear anything. I don't hear
Happy
anything.
birthday, rock and roll.
If you ever really live in this, you guys are
one more
killing.
plug. December 11th. Hashtag.
Hashtag sure.
Yeah, it's a diverse scene too, and I think a lot of at this point in time, people like a lot of different kind of things too. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. A lot of crossover with the genres too.
Right.
I mean, I played in the hardcore and punk scene for years and years and years, and started a soul band for a couple of years, and now doing a rock and roll band. But it doesn't matter as long as what you do is passionate and comes from some kind of depth. I grew up in St. Louis, and all this love that we're talking about, I've always had it's like a romance of you want to play the dive bars, you want the dirty corners, you want that because that's where the history is. That's where the Chuck Berry stories come from. That's where all the old blues and Gaslight Square and all that shit. That's what we want. We want to create our generation's movement of music and do it all together. And when you're all in a community together and you're being kind, you can share hey man, we're trying to go play Louisville. Oh dude, we got buddies down there, so we'll put you up with them. Yeah. And then we're looking for Little Rock. Oh cool, we have a Little Rock guy, so we'll talk to you about we can help you get that show. Just works better, and it's also more fun. The only problem is you guys were saying about this show coming up, or the show at the Livery. It's there's always 10 bands you want to play with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
can you just book a festival?
Right.
And
then
your friends show up and they're not playing. You're like, I'm so glad you're here.
But that's what the Maness brothers
I would love to hear you play.
That's how I feel about
I wish you were
Old
playing.
Souls Revival.
Yeah.
That Old Souls Revival show at Livery,
dude, they're
tripped
awesome.
me out.
They're so good.
Yeah, they are.
I was sitting
So
on. I mean,
talented.
and I've seen them before, and I've met Neil and Pete and Jeremy, and I haven't met their bass player, but just all upright, great dudes, and they're just but they're so chill, so humble, and scary good. That I was a little
I think that guy's name is their new bass player. I think his name is Matt, possibly, but he works at Sawhorse.
Oh, cool.
So so he's an engineer, and everything as well.
Sweet.
So like that's how he kind of like got involved with that. So that dude's just professional as fuck.
Right.
You know, like they're really good at what he does.
They do some really interesting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Very
lead
interesting
guitar
bands.
players.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Killer.
I just found out
I know.
insanely
I was like,
awesome.
dude,
Holy
fuck you.
cow.
They're so
That's
good.
beautiful.
I was like, man, I gotta go home and practice right now.
He's got
I
a-
gotta do my scales right now. Yeah.
But I think that when I see every band, like when I watch Josh play, I'm like, God damn, that lick is awesome.
And
Where'd you get that
I
from?
feel the
Where'd
same
you
way
get that?
when I watch Dan play. I'm like, man, I just want to go da 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 da. You know, it's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So much fun.
So mean.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
See, and it is one of those things where you want to have 10 bands on your lineup. So in trying to from like a booking standpoint, I was trying to like try to approach it in like a clever way to like just be around, but just make it accessible for our friends, make it for family, make it for people that are in from out of town. So we're playing the 11th at the Duck Room, and then we're going to play the 17th and the 18th and the 19th. We're going to play the 17th at Treehouse, which is a vegetarian restaurant on Grand, but you go upstairs and there's like a bar upstairs, and it's like not as much of a speakeasy vibe as it is kind of just like not really advertised. And we're going to play up there with Old Souls Revival because I wanted them to be on the bill with us, but we just couldn't do it. So we're going to do that with them, which is going to be a week later. Still got the CDs. We're going to still be coming off that like feeling of the new thing. And then we're doing the Layla takeover on the 18th, which is like I could not be more stoked for that because we're there all the time. And Whitney, who's Josh's girlfriend, my roommate, she works there.
You've gotten way too good at drinking Old Granddad.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank you, Tony Saputo.
Tony Saputo for just being a great human.
A great
Those
human,
bartenders,
great
yeah.
bartender, GM there, and
Tony.
Yeah,
What's
Tony.
World class hugger.
Oh, world class.
You were talking about hugging
belt.
4 times a night.
Championship belt.
Yeah.
Whether you're having a bad day or you need like a spinal adjustment.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know,
That guy,
that dude is
got
good
so many
for it.
random stories with that guy, but he's always like, Tony, the first night that I met him, he closed down the bar and he's like, Sean, you've never listened to Jeff Buckley? And I told him I'm a big fan of like singer-songwriter kind of stuff. And you know, I hadn't listened to Grace, Jeff Buckley's album, I guess.
Yeah.
But he sat me down and he's like, all right, dude, I'm going to pour you a bunch of Old Granddad. Get you this beer. It's all in the house. We're going to listen to this entire album and just shoot the shit. And first night that I met him, I was like, all right, cool, man, yeah. So we stayed out. I guess we listened to the whole album, but it was like 5 a.m. when we left Layla's. The first time that I'd gone to Layla's, too, and met Tony, and just like, dude, yeah, you're going to love this. And
Change your life.
your friends it changed my life, yeah. So I'll just throw on Jeff Buckley, man, on a rainy day and be like, fuck yeah, I just want
It's a great record.
boredom,
And he got
man. If
swallowed
I'm
up by the
bored, I'll just,
Mississippi.
leads to the bottom, man. Oh yeah, Dan. So you're saying, about like having connections out of town, like just friends of friends and a really close community. As we were sitting here, I just got a message from somebody in Nashville, saying like, "Hey, we're coming to St. Louis. My band, whatever." He played with Blackfoot Gypsies originally. I think he was their first. Dylan,
Modok.
Yeah, and Modok, yeah. And he
yeah.
plays. He's like, I've got a little side project. It's similar to like, it's just rock and roll. Like just now, just hit me up and said, "Hey, I saw that you played with Bruiser Queen last night, and I did that for the 12 Bases of Christmas thing."
Which was rad.
He's like,
Bruiser
Bruiser Queen. Morgan and Jason.
A lot of applause.
But yeah,
Hardest
he
working
just
band in
from
St. Louis.
Bruiser Queen and just from like
Big fan. Big
me
fan.
playing one show, one song with them last night. He was like, "Hey, I want to play with you guys in Bruiser Queen. You know, now that you're in Bruiser Queen." I'm like, "I'm not."
Yeah.
I was like, it was one song for one show. It was literally 3 minutes, and then I was
That's a cool idea, though.
but connections.
It was
Yeah.
dude, that was.
Oh, such a
I
great
was like
idea,
bowing down.
It was so wonderful.
From like a.
It was such a production and everything
Yeah.
too. They had
so impressed. It's such a cool.
Kelsey McClure come out and do like she was kind of DJing.
Kind of the MC, yeah.
MC.
right.
That's what I was looking for. Not DJing. She was MCing. And
She does comedy in the Duck Room also. So it's like, man, you can't get away from these people. Everybody is everywhere, and
Connected,
I mean, you've met, and you've gotten drunk with that person, and you didn't even know it.
And we all
comedy
kissed.
scene, and we all kissed.
We all kissed.
Group kissed. It's
Yeah.
so
We all
weird.
kissed.
Just met Tony. Yeah.
But so Blackfoot Gypsies
Forced on
is like that's also that's a really big deal to me because I've seen them and known them for years. Now I saw them 2 times, never really talked about collaborating. The band was still kind of getting figured out, and then
when they came to play Plush, what was that? In 2013.
That sounds right.
They played Plush for 10 people.
Sure, and they were
that was including yourself.
They were originally a 2-piece, and I myself working on like a 2-piece kind of thing. I was so truly influenced by that. That was one of the craziest shows I've ever seen. Matthew Page and Zach Murphy are the two main dudes from that band, and yeah, they're insane. They're blowing up. They're a 4-piece now. From they're gonna come straight from Nashville to here for the show, which just blows my mind. They want to come all the way here for just that night. So that's that alone, and like they've played in the city, but they haven't really had the right. It's not been the right night, not been the right spot, but like.
So we're really hoping that this pays off for him.
Right. Them.
I'd
rather you come.
We just want to introduce.
Come soak up Blackfoot, because you can see us in the city next week, but you're going to see Blackfoot, and like they're going to just keep getting bigger.
They're an amazing band.
If you want to see Blackfoot Gypsies, come out on the 11th because it's going to be.
Great live show. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Dude, I bought their CD and their shirt, and I know them, and I'm just like, can I ever stop?
Yeah, I never buy any merch or anything most of the time. I'm just so gosh darn poor constantly.
But rich now.
But that was enough. Oh, not me. I'm still living under the bridge every day.
Yeah.
It's raining. It's going to be terrible.
I bring you bread.
It's going to be sad
Tomorrow.
But I ended up buying a T-shirt and a vinyl record. I'm like, I ended up spending like $40. I was just like, you guys are so good. Thank you guys. You're take my money. You're so talented.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of the funny thing, the merch stuff. Like doing this now, a lot. You guys gave me the EP when I showed up here, and but that kind of thing. It's like a lot of people are giving me stuff, and I'm like, here, now I want to buy it. I'm trying to support. That's why I'm doing all this. I want to support you guys. Sure. It's like if people give me free tickets, it's cool, but I also the whole idea of support is you guys got to get paid too, so I don't know. It goes both ways.
Shane, we definitely appreciate you. And all the ways you support us otherwise than the dollar bill. A
little care package and a little thing here. I feel like that's the least we can do.
Well, for me to buy a shirt for $20 or whatever to get you guys some gas in the tank to the next town or whatever it is.
Yeah, man.
That's not. It's not that much, but
yeah.
So.
Support, that's really all it comes down to.
Right.
Backing each other, which is just that's just the spirit of it.
Sure. Yeah.
And again, going back to our wonderful camaraderie that we have now, in St. Louis, we're
gonna have an ambulance in the show.
In the hardcore scene, did you know anybody like this? I sure didn't. There's so much going on now to help promote local music and everything, and really has become an initiative to get it launched, and it's great.
Excuse me. I guess let's focus on these guys for a little while.
Yes.
Perfect.
All right.
So the wilderness, huh?
Yeah.
The wilderness. Ness.
That's it.
I think there was. All right. Well, good. That's I think. Man, I'm trying to remember. Is it a
that's my Casio watch. I also found out that this specific model of Casio watch is mostly used by terrorists for car bombs. Yeah, so watch out, guys. Next time it beeps, we're all dead.
Stylish and dangerous.
Yeah, it's like Russian roulette every time it goes off. So anyway,
I was trying to. I think that might have. I'm sure you guys did something at. I see your name all the time at Schlafly Tap Room. There.
Yeah, we played there.
Yeah.
Brett Underwood, big supporter of local music.
I think did you guys do a show together?
We did.
Yeah.
It was in June. Right?
Yeah. It was definitely.
It was a kickoff show. Yeah, you guys played with us and Andy Cook and the Wanderlings.
Oh right, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Andy Cook was
in the
mix.
Yeah, such a great show as well. Yeah,
that was super fun.
The bass player in Andy's band showed up wearing the Maness Brothers t-shirt.
Right, Zagk. And speaking of that kind of thing too, that's I had mentioned to them that they were going into Columbus and we're looking for somebody, and I got a hold of Zagk, and then Zagk met the Maness Brothers, and they were like, "You rule, no, you rule, no,
exactly.
I love you guys. It's great."
Fuck yeah.
Just a big makeout fest.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was just, it's nice to see that dude. Yeah, but then Zagk came down and he was sporting the Maness Brothers shirt, all strutting his stuff in there.
Yeah, I got a Maness Brothers shirt.
They're cool.
It's a poly cotton blend.
So yeah, we did that show together. That was a good night too.
Yeah, that was
all night long.
Really fun night.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you?
They also played Whiskey War Festival.
We played Whiskey War Festival,
Yeah.
which was awesome.
Which was Maness
so
Brothers band.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were the first band to play too, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I think on the inside, it was awesome that they asked us and we got to play that and everything. Dude, that was such a good day.
I beat my hangover to your guys' set.
Right.
You're drinking whiskey and beer and everything at, when you guys
Whiskey
played
War Fest.
4 o'clock,
Right.
Yeah.
3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or was it early?
It was
It was like 1.
Like,
yeah,
for sure.
You guys
It
were the
was,
first
like,
ones that I saw.
It
Yeah.
was raining when we got there.
Yeah.
And the vibe was kind of like, if things getting pushed back, how's this going to work? And your set was definitely the first one that was like, all right, now
Yeah, it was an intense day.
we're kind of getting this rolling. Like,
Yep. It was great.
I remember doing 3 shots during your set, and it was just like, oh man.
these guys make me want to drink.
Well, I got dared by the Maness family, and they said nobody has made it from, the wake up, which is when
from
you
the
start
gates open
your
until
day
the gates
until
close.
the very
Yeah.
end. And I was like, all right, well, I don't think you know this ego trip. We're bands getting to know bands. I was like, I don't think you partied with the Jackals before. Kind of that kind of shit. And I
would be here all
kind of
day.
just saying like we drink, man. So I'm not that worried about it. And he said, all right, I'm talking the whole time. And we go to my parents' house, we go to the Maness house afterwards. That is also included. I couldn't make it. I didn't even make it through all the bands. I left with everybody by
I have to go.
probably about 9 because we played at 4 or 5, and I didn't survive it. So
Yeah.
he was right.
I didn't either.
I was
Bobby, you gotta take me out.
Get me out of here!
I had some chemical substances that really helped me.
I'm peeing my pants.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
I couldn't balance mine out.
Yeah, I had to exhibit a large amount of self-control because we drove back to go visit.
That's right. Oh my God, that's right.
So after I
Yes.
left, I had to drive for 9 hours.
Yep.
Happily, but it was really cool to go there and just be like, no man,
Which is probably why I got so bombed. Was
I gotta
like,
stay-
What about taking
stay
me
cool.
home?
Well,
So
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Driver.
You gotta drink Bobby's share.
I got the full experience. It was great. It was a great day.
I was very bummed I missed that one because I was in Troy, Missouri, at the Ink Spot Block Party the same day. There was 2 great festivals that I wanted to be a part of, and they happened to be on the same day.
Of course.
And so it was a tough decision, but that's why I went out there.
Yeah.
That's all right.
There's always plenty of stuff to do in
Yeah.
St. Louis, man.
Hey, next year, man.
Yeah.
And, I'm on the street team this year. I just asked Jake.
Nice.
Cool.
Finally got accepted.
The Whiskey War Fest.
Congratulations.
It needs to get back because that was my favorite thing all summer, hands down. Favorite weekend, favorite show.
It
That
was-
my favorite day.
Yeah.
It was
I
4
agree.
days before my birthday as well. So that's what I counted as my birthday party. I was like, oh, cool. I
It's my party.
I get to play rock and roll and drink whiskey.
My party. It's my party.
Birthday party.
Yeah, they're like, hang out. Yeah, this is that's what.
Whiskey
in
War,
my head-
happy birthday, Josh.
Yeah.
Party. Festival.
Yeah, it was hard to keep up though too because
it's
their
hard.
changeovers were so fast. So it was just
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
because it's like a thing.
Or-
I want to see all these bands.
With
I
3
want to see every
stages
one of
at the
these
same
bands.
Yeah.
or 2 at least going
Yeah.
at the same time, and then
Right.
inside it was
Yeah,
2 stages.
I
and
was-
they'd
I was
switch back
like-
and forth.
cut sets.
I missed,
you know?
And
I
we're
missed,
talking-
some people that I really
We're talking
snaps.
Brotherly and the Leather Jackals, The Wilderness, Shitstorm, the Maness Brothers. We had
Old Souls.
Old Souls Revival,
River Kids.
River Kids,
Bar Mice.
Farm Mice, Care Louise Band.
Was Billy
Yeah,
Scott?
yeah.
The old one, too.
Yeah.
I mean, old
Fat,
Souls Revival.
Fat Tramp Food Stand,
Yeah.
is that right? And then
Oh, yeah, right.
from there, they had a
Capital Square Dance Club.
Okay.
They had a Tennessee,
Yeah.
they had a Tennessee band play though. Who was that? Jake's. They
Oh,
James Leg.
James Leg.
Yeah. Jake's Leg?
James Leg.
James
Jake's Leg is that Grateful Dead cover.
James Leg. But they
Ilphonics
man,
played too.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
basically-
Ilphonics. Yeah.
Ilphonics.
Man, I caught Kevin in the bathroom like at the end of the night, like before we left, and I just love that dude.
Yeah, he's
I
such a
like
great guy.
anyway.
Such
Yeah,
Now he's-
and him
now
and
he's doing his own
I just kind of like had this like, oh my god, man, we're so fucked up.
You've been here all day.
Yeah. It's like we've been here all
Sponsored
day.
by Defiance.
It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what? Like, how are we walking? You know, like I'm sure there was no
Yeah.
real audible words spoken, but we like totally knew what like each other was saying. You know, I'm sure like to be a fly on the wall, that would have been the most fucking hilarious
Yeah,
thing.
I'm sure.
Right.
So also a bonus thing about Whiskey Wharf Festival too is there's a bonus track on the album that's not listed on the back sleeve, and I wrote that song at 4 o'clock in the morning after Whiskey War Festival, after I'd polished off a pint of Jack Daniels when we got home too, in the backyard. And again, words probably weren't real at that point. Like I would have loved to just seen myself sitting in the backyard at 4 o'clock in the morning, like mumbling. But I wrote the song that is the acapella on the last bit, and we recorded that in Chicago in the subway. And I was sober; these guys were really drunk. They didn't even remember that we did it.
Yeah.
And until I showed them like a couple weeks before, like we got all this press and everything, they're like, "Oh, we should put this like on the record." I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah. So that's one in the works
It's,
as well.
One in the works.
It's a great song box, St. Louis to Chicago, vice versa. But we did it in the subway in Chicago. It was just a lot of fun.
Just waiting around at the end of the night. I think we were on our way.
Yeah,
we were
we
on
were.
our way to like some random house party. We don't know anybody in Chicago. It was just us, and we didn't have a car up
Yeah,
there, so
but-
we were
yeah.
taking the train.
We were
But,
taking
like,
the L.
We had like
Yeah.
one friend. We were going
One
for
friend,
a
yeah.
musician. It's called DIY Musician Conference. It's through CD Baby, and we had some extra money in like the band budget. And I don't know, man. I'm trying to make this like a little more of a fucking job. So I was like, maybe we'll go to this thing and we'll learn some things we haven't. You know, maybe we'll. If nothing else, maybe I'll inspire everyone else to look at it in a little bit of more of like a
business standpoint.
business sense, because that's 50% of the way I look at it. Just my background kind of leads me to that. And it was a lot of fun, and Chicago was great. And it's just like, there's so many things we haven't done. I mean, we've never toured. I personally have never toured. Been a musician for 13 years, but I've just never done it. And we're doing it one step at a time, but I like all these steps that we're making with all these people that we're making it with, and like, I mean, God, I don't know what we'll do after this month, but this month's gonna just be a fun one.
Well, I think
Be good.
I think if we keep it rolling, man, we got the new EP, we got all the people on this bill. We're, like I said, they're all friends. 2016 could be a good year.
Could be killer, man.
Yeah.
The year of everybody kissing each other.
Yeah.
Every day.
Shows would be better.
Every
XOXO.
single day.
XOXO.
Kiss and play rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's a good place to end this kissing and rock and roll. Let's
Go hand in hand,
Yeah.
don't they?
Happy birthday, rock
Thanks,
and roll
dude.
this
Rock
Friday.
and roll.
What? Come out Friday, December 11th. $10 will get you in. You can see Blackfoot, Gypsies, Brother Lee and the Leather Jackals, the Maness Brothers, the Wilderness, and River Kittens.
It's an extremely high energy show, I would say. It's going to be awesome.
Wear your dancing shoes.
Yeah, wear your dance
Yeah.
shoes.
And your party pants.
Yeah.
Party pants.
Party
Bring
pants,
no pants.
dancing shoes.
No sleeves or no pants.
Or no
Bring,
pants.
bring an
you're
extra
right.
pair of
Nudity
party
encouraged.
pants maybe.
Yeah. You're gonna
All
burn.
shapes and sizes.
Bring all shapes and
Let's see
sizes,
it.
baby.
I just
Bring
wanna see
cash, because you're gonna forget your car there. Just bring cash. You're gonna forget your car.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Doors at 7, shows at 8, and we'll have copies of the new EP at the show. So come get you one.
Thanks, Shane.
Yeah, well,
Thanks, Shane.
yeah,
Yeah,
thanks you
Shane.
guys. Well, let's close this out with a couple of tracks. What do you guys want to play? You want
Say,
Definitely Boredom Leads to the
Yeah,
bottom.
put
Yeah.
for sure. First,
I love Jesse. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my personal favorite on there. Yeah.
put those two on there then,
Cool.
if you guys don't care.
No,
Get
but-
some-
Not
spread the
at all.
love.
Cool.
So check it out Friday. come see these guys. Thank you, guys.
Boosh! You. Later.
Jesse James. He asked me to join his gang. Said it'd make me rich. Make me richer than I came. Well, my name's Robert Ford, and I'm a northern man. I could see it in his eyes that I knew that he would die. When you're always on the run, it's hard to keep your soul so satisfied. Well, I just killed a man. I shot him in his head. No, I'm not proud, but I still shot him down. 'Cause I just get the thrill that comes with the kill. No, I'm not proud, but I still shot him down. When you're always on the run, it's hard to keep your soul so satisfied. But I tried so hard. But I tried so hard.
Rock Paper Podcast, y'all.